Hey guys, welcome back to the how-to series from Amantex AI Academy. This is Asif, and we'll be continuing our the project we started last time about creating a stock trading agent with the OpenAI Codex CLI coding agent. It's a bit long, but basically this is the agent that we are using to build this tool that we want to use to trade in the stock market. Uh, so we want to build a tool, the stock trading bot, which will do this trading. And we are using the OpenAI Codex CLI. Last time we set up everything. We created an Upstocks account so we can see the prices of the shares as they are moving. And we can also, even go out and buy shares if we want and all that manually from Upstocks. But now we want to build an agent to first to do the same, what we would have done manually. But the first thing that we want to do with this agent is we want to create it. So let's start building. Now let's go to our, we log into Codex, we start Codex, we are in our folder where we are going to do all of our work. And we just start off with just asking Codex to build this out. So we could say, hey there, can you please so the first thing we would need is, before we go out and do any trades, we want to know whether the strategy that we have chosen, is it gonna result in any value add for us, or is it just gonna be a loss making strategy, is gonna just lose money on the stock market? So testing a strategy is generally called backtesting. So we are going to be backtesting this strategy. Now you can backtest in multiple ways. You can download data from various platforms. You can test the strategy. So we'll be downloading data, and I'll not influence the AI. I'll just tell it to just download information and allow us to backtest this particular strategy. Since we are trading on the Indian stock market, I will ask it to focus on the Indian stocks. So can you please download prices, daily prices for BSE 30 companies. So maybe we can start here. I would like to have it download these prices for BSE 30 companies. And yeah, let's let it do its stuff wherever it downloads it from. So now this is the agentic part about AI. So it's gonna make a plan. It's then gonna try to execute it. It will try to download this information and this data. Now, yeah, it's made this plan. I'm figuring out how to fetch daily prices. Now, see, we didn't even tell it what is BSE 30. That's part of its. So the OpenAI models are generally trained on a lot of information. It does have some information on what is a BS. What do we mean by BSE 30? It already knows about that. It may not have the latest list of BSE 30 companies, but those are, you can always enhance and you can improve AI by providing some context. You can give it a link and tell it to get the list on this website, or even Upstocks for that matter, and all that. But yeah, we're just starting off simple. So let's just first download the data needed for this strategy. Now, as you can see, it started using Python because most AI platforms, when they start building scripts, they would default to Python, especially for data analysis scripts. Now it's asking me for permission to install some Python libraries that it feels it needs to download this information. And you can see one of the libraries that it's trying to install is Yahoo Finance. So that it can, so Yahoo Finance has a lot of information on various stocks across globally. You can get American stock prices, you can get Indian prices, and so on. So it's a good selection in general. So yeah, we say just go ahead, do it. I'm giving full permission to this folder, so it can download whatever tools it needs to work for in this particular folder. Okay, so yeah, it took a very simple prompt, and it fed something. It has now assumed a lot of things because we didn't provide a lot of information in the prompt itself. But let's see what it has done. What it did was, now first thing you could see that it ran for a decent amount of time. It took a few minutes, about 5 minutes, for it to complete this particular activity. Now, this is unlike a normal chat GPT session where you type in something, you get instant responses. When you're working with agents, agents take time to complete because they do multiple things. Now, what has it done? It created a script that scrapes the current BAC 30 constituents, because we didn't tell it which companies form the BAC 30. It takes it from Wikipedia, then it pulls the daily OHLCV. Now, what does this word mean? When you trade in the stock market, normally these are the five parameters that you look at. O means open, high, low, close, volume. So if you go back to our upstocks chart, and you look at the candle bars, you'll see whenever you hover over a particular candle bar, you see these values come up: O, H, L, C, V. So basically what V, volume, it gives you the opening price, the price at which it started trading on that particular day, the highest that the sticker the stock reached on that day, the lowest that it went to, the closing price, what price it closed at, and finally the volume, how many shares were traded in that day for this particular company. Okay, so that's a normal whenever you're doing trades and you're defining strategies. These are normally some of the key parameters that you would want to capture. So it captured OHLCV history for each ticker via Yahoo Finance. It fetched the maximum range possible. So it fetched data for 30 tickers uh, for like 25 years. So from 2000 till 2025. So it's fetched the maximum data that it could fetch from Yahoo Finance for these 30 companies. Okay, great. So we got the data in. Let's just review it once that the data is coming correctly. So you see that we have got two files in this folder, and I can just try to open one of the files in Excel. So the files are in CSV format. CSV opens in Excel normally. So let's open this in Excel. And when I open it in Excel, I can see that it has fetched. Yeah, this is a list of companies that it has taken, and it has put in a ticker for what does Yahoo call this particular company, and what is the code in the BSE, and what industry or sector it belongs to. And let's look at the prices. Okay, so we see a lot of data here. Actually, I believe the data exceeds the limits Excel can. Uh, it exceeds Excel's. Oh, it doesn't. Sorry. So yeah, we have about 172,000 items that were picked up, and it has downloaded this information. It has pulled in. Uh, It has pulled in the date of the ticker, the date, open, high, low, close, and volume. Okay, so it's got all this information. It all looks interesting, but we don't care. I mean, so we just care that it should be able to execute a strategy and do the trades. I mean, that's what we are building this agent for. Okay, so let's go back to our agent. This has done a good job. Now let's try to implement our strategy. Okay, so what we want to do is, with the data that we downloaded, we want to validate whether the strategy works or not, right? So does the strategy work? How much, what kind of returns does it generate, if any? Or if it loses money, how much does it lose? Okay, so now when you're working with these agents, you can type what you want, but you can even speak. For example, on the Mac, I could just say, hey there, thanks for downloading the data. Now what we would want to do is we want to implement a strategy. And the strategy is we want to buy a share if it appreciates 2 days in a row, and we want to sell it if it falls in price 2 days in a row. And we want to test this strategy against the data that we have downloaded. Okay, so we told it that this is what we want to do. This is the strategy that we are going to implement. And first thing that we would want to do is test whether the strategy works, or if it doesn't, and how badly does it fail. So another aspect of using these coding agents is that I don't need to know how do I run a Python script, right? Or I don't need to even know what kind of code it is writing. I can just tell the coding agent directly that please run the script for me. I don't need to understand Python or the way it runs or what syntax it uses. All that is not necessary. So now we want to see the results of the backtest, and we want to get them in a particular format. So I would like to see a report of the strategy, including what we want to see. I would like to see the CAGR, the annual returns on this particular strategy, the max drawdown. So the max drawdown basically means that what kind of losses it has generated in the max amount of loss that this strategy has generated. Uh, so it should be on the lower side. Of course, we don't want to have a lot of losses when we are running any strategy. We also want the Sharpe ratio. The Sharpe ratio is basically what the risk involved. Now, this is a very simple strategy, so the risk will be on the higher side. So the way the Sharpe ratio works is a lower number means higher risk, and a higher number means lower risk. So if it's above 1, the strategy is doing well. If it's above 3, the strategy is absolutely amazing. But we don't expect something like that from a strategy as simple as ours at the moment. So it's going to generate a report. We want a report of the strategy. We want the CAGR. We want the companies that best match our strategy. So which companies perform the best, and show trades for the last 15 days for top 5 companies. Okay. So for the top 5 companies that match the strategy, we would like to see the trades of the last 15 days. So that's basically something we want to report. We want to see all of this. This is something you would ask a normal developer, right? So you have a developer, you told him to do this, but once he says I'm done, you'd say, okay, give me a report. What did you do? Is it actually working? And I would want some way to validate that what he's saying, that say for example, he's saying that the strategy is doing well, the strategy is not doing well. Is he able to identify those green markers and the red markers and everything? So uh, let's give it this prompt, ask it to give us this particular report. Okay, great. So it has completed the task we allocated to it. It has okay, yeah, that's another thing, we didn't tell it how much in starting capital it has. So it has assumed 10 lakhs as the starting capital, 100,000. Sorry, a million rupees. Um, so it has done this. The CAGR is 0.16%, which is pretty bad. So why is 16% bad? 0.16% is because the index. So normally when you're dealing with the stock market and trades, you normally compare it to the index, and what you know is the index normally would give you 10% returns, and uh, this particular strategy is giving us just 0.1%. So that's like 100 times smaller than what you would have received had you just purely invested in the index itself. The max drawdown is 4%, almost 5%. It's a bit on the higher side. You want to ideally, good strategy will give you a max max drawdown, the highest loss that you can make, less than 1% or even less than 0.5%. That's what you would want. The Sharpe ratio is 0.06, which is really, really bad. You want 1 or higher for a good strategy. Now, the best stocks that matched our strategy, we have Ultratech Cement, Maruti Suzuki, Trent, Mahindra, and Tubro, Larsen and Tubro. And the last few trades that it has done, it has mentioned L&T. So let's look at these trades. So it says that if we would have traded on L&T on the 10th and the 22nd, it would have generated some. Oh, let's take Maruti. Maruti looks like a higher thing. Okay, let's look at this one. It says you buy on the 30th of July and you sell it on the 11th of September. So let's look at this. So we take Maruti Suzuki India, and it is asking us to purchase shares on the 30th of July. So say if it was running on the 30th of July, now let's see if it followed our strategy, right? So on the 29th of July, there's a green candle. So the stock price went up. 30th of July, again, there's a green candle. The stock price went up. So it should have bought on the 31st. It bought on the 30th. So that means it has not followed our strategy. So this looks incorrect. Maruti stock went up on the 29th, of July and the 30th of July. So we should have purchased on the 31st of July at open price. Okay, so it has completed. It has incorporated our fixes. We told it that it had not implemented the logic correctly. So let's see now what it says. It says about Maruti that it would buy on the 31st of July and sell on the 12th of September. So let's go back and verify this. So 31st of July. So I see two green bars on the 29th and the 30th. I would buy on the 31st. The buy price would be 12,506. Is that the price he has mentioned? Okay, he has not mentioned the price. Let's make a note of that. So the buy price would be 12,506. Let's look at this again. So it would be 12,506, and then it is asking us to sell on the 12th of September. So let's go all the way. That's a long duration. So Maruti, we buy it on this date, and we don't see red bars. So it's right. I don't see a consecutive red bar. I see it here. Okay, so this is where we see two red bars. So on the 10th and 11th. So we would sell on the 12th of September, and the price you would sell it at is 15,160. So let's make a note of that. 15,160. That means we would have a trade value of 2654. The value is still wrong because it says 2570. Let's look at the actual trade, what it has recorded. So now again, I don't need to look at the code. I can just look at the values and figure out whether it's following our instructions or not. And that's basically the flow that you would follow in agentic development. There would obviously be specialists who would understand the code and be able to give you better feedback. But in this case, where we are just trying to build something directly using AI as a software agent, we don't care about what code has been written. So we have done a simple backtest on our strategy. We got some recommendations. Now we have two directions. Number one, I would like it to generate recommendations for today, right? That's number one. Number two, I want to switch from Yahoo Finance to Upstock. So we are looking at the same thing, and we are downloading data which matches what we are looking at, right? So let's go to so let's ask it. So now to work with Upstocks, you would need to use their API, which will allow you to connect to Upstocks. Now Upstocks has an API which is available. It's available from their interface. You can click here, Trading API. It will basically ask you to sign in. So basically, you would need to log into Upstocks, go to your account, and in your account, navigate to My Apps, through the apps link. So that's something like you go to your Upstocks, you go to your account. So you go to your account, My Account, and in My Account, you would navigate to Apps. And in apps, you would get a list of apps that are allowed to connect to Upstocks. Now, we can make a regular app. A regular app will do actual trades, but in our case, we'll use Sandbox. We want to we would like to test these trades first before we actually use upstocks for actual trades. So let's start. To test it, you create a sandbox account. Now, a sandbox account basically means that when you log a trade, it will follow everything, but it won't actually go and purchase that stock. So it's almost like a paper trade. So you're doing the best recommendation for any strategy is you do just verify your strategy using paper trades, because you don't want to fit your strategy to the most successful calls that have been taken in the past. So that is often something that people make a mistake on. They try to fit their strategy, so they just look at success stories and they don't look at the other side. So what we do is we create a sandbox app, and once you have created a sandbox app, basically you just need to fill out some information. It asks, when you're making a sandbox app, it asks you for a redirect URL. You can put in anything here, because we aren't going to be using a redirect URL while we are going to be building this agent, because we will just generate the access token directly. So what is an access token? We don't need to get into that right now. We just need an access token to connect. That's all. So we go to the app. You see there are some keys over here, and what I would do is you need to generate an access token. So I'll just revoke my existing one, and I'll generate a new one. So I got a new access token, and then you can copy that access token, and we'll give the access token to our agent, so that the agent can update and change its the download mechanism. And then we also wanted to trade, so it will change the download mechanism. We'll change the download mechanism, as well as update our backtest results, and we will also log in a trade using the Upstocks API to actually see how it is performing. We'll get into that on the next session. So I think we are good. If you have any questions or any doubts, please comment on this video or reach out to us on our Discord channel. Thank you.